live here from Kansas Speedway for the BSR in the Bits News Truck Series here on JCTV. I'm Josh Coppernell in the booth tonight, not out on track, but I am joined by Adam Kuhn and Ben Smith. Adam, Ben, how you guys doing?
Evening, Josh. Ready to be in the booth for a change here at Kansas Speedway. I think this will be another exciting race. I think we're going to have very competitive restarts, and it's going to be really fun to see the dynamic at the end of these stints here tonight, Ben.
Yeah, happy to be here, gentlemen. It'll be see how these guys do on a intermediate after being on the chaotic short track at IRP for their previous race. I'm curious to see how they adapt to this today.
It's going to be interesting. Of course, we did have a bye week last week, so these guys have had a week to cool down from last time out. Might be a nice change of things to go back to a mile and a half. Kansas Speedway actually has produced some really clean racing. Past couple times we visited here, it's been a season finale. And there hasn't been a caution after the stage caution. Right now, we've got 25 drivers that have taken a practice time, 27 that have registered. Could be different, but we'll see here as things play out. 134 laps makes up tonight's distance, and stage one will end at the conclusion of lap 34. Something else to note, guys, there's only 3 races left in the regular season. Tonight, and 2 Talladega races. Pull up the schedule here, and you'll notice August 19th, Talladega 45 laps. August 19th, Talladega 45 laps. That is not a typo. It's Talladega doubleheader. We had that last season as well, and we're going to have it this season. Ending the regular season, 2 Talladega races. I mean, if the heat hasn't been on already, it's on now. Kansas tonight, 2 Talladega races are what separates some drivers from having a chance to fight for a championship and just racing the rest of the races just to try to score some wins. So, guys, if you're racers, how important is this race tonight?
Oh, very important, Josh, because you mentioned Talladega in the background. It's unpredictable. We have no idea what's going to happen next Saturday night. So you want to have a solid ground tonight, get that win, maybe punch your ticket in, and not have to worry about next week.
I agree with you, Adam. It's the big day where you want today if you punch your ticket in here. Talladega is kind of the great equalizer, being the wild card that it is. So if you punch a ticket here today, if you're one of those guys that are down around the bubble, you can go into the final 2 races of the regular season with feeling a lot of relief. And one guy who is feeling some relief already coming in today is our most recent winner, Cameron Caldwell, who rolled the dice on the strategy at IRP, and he's sitting in a pretty brilliant position now that he's locked into the playoffs already coming into these last 3 races.
Yeah, Caldwell had yet to score a victory on the season and got the victory last 2 weekends ago, rather. Excuse me. So yeah, Caldwell securing that win, getting himself a guaranteed position into the playoffs and some playoff points as well. That's something else new this season than in seasons past is, where in the past, we've just seen a chase. We're having a playoffs this season, and I'll bring that schedule back up for you guys. So, the round of 10, it's going to be Pocono, Bristol, and Chicagoland. I mean, that's 3 races right there that are so different from each other. Pocono, 2.5-mile triangle. Bristol, a half-mile short track. Chicagoland, a mile and a half the back straightaway is curves. You really don't even have a straightaway on a straight straightaway rather on Chicagoland. In Kentucky, Dover, and the 2008 version of Atlanta make up around 7. Then Auto Club will be the championship 4, and that's where a champion will be determined. So, you know, we talk about the differences between this season and the seasons in the past is we've still had a chase, but it's not been in an elimination style, you know, playoffs. This season, of course, having the playoff points. So those, you know, you're talking about Cameron Caldwell getting the win. It's really going to help him out for, you know, having some extra playoff points as well going through the playoffs.
Yeah, and one of those drivers not locked into the playoffs right now, Josh, is Alex Kerfin. He's got a 51-point cushion, trying to lock himself in before the doubleheader next week. That's going to be tough to do tonight without a win. He's ran pretty strong here in the past at Kansas. He has wins on a mile and a half track in his career here in the Pits News Truck Series. And on the other side of that is Brett Bennett, yet again searching for a playoff berth this season. He's 11 points back, and David Duran 48 points back. That might be too far to point in, but we know he is good on the plate checks. Won Talladega last season.
Not only did he win Talladega last season, he also won at Daytona to open up the season last season. So a couple of plate wins for David Duran. I agree. David is going to be one to watch out for next week at those Talladega races.
Something else to keep in mind, too, today is the cutoff line, points-wise, is really, really tight right now. And if you look on the tracker, we got 27 trucks that have put up a practice time now. So this, with the 11 points separating Josh Arnold and Brett Bennett, anything could happen today.
Yeah, it's gonna be, you know, really tough to point your way in. I know in my position, of course, obviously I wish I was out there racing tonight. Not the case as I'm up here in the booth, but, you know, even for me, it was going to be really hard. And I'm looking at those Talladega races next week, knowing that that's my last opportunity, and I need to perform at those races. And, you know, if you're in a position of these guys on the outside looking in, or kind of right there on the bubble, you know, do you really want to rely on Talladega? And I would say no. But right now, if you don't perform tonight, that's what's going to have to happen. In Talladega, anything can happen.
I was about to say, Josh, how do you feel about the fact that you have no choice but to rely on Talladega?
you know, Daytona was a really good race for us until it wasn't. And it wasn't anybody's fault other than my own as to why Daytona. Like, I got taken out at Daytona and ended up finishing dead last. Daytona was such a clean race. You know, we did not have a single caution other than the stage caution, and they wrecked big on the last lap. I'm not saying that could be the same for Talladega, but what I am saying here is, you know, for Talladega races, or I'm sorry, for dual races per se, you know, that we see at Daytona, they always say there's a calm race and then there's a chaotic race. Well, I'm supposed to be in both races next week. So, you know, I mean, whether that plays true or not, obviously it's going to be tough. I'm not really liking my chances too well, but I think I've got a great team behind me. We worked so well at Daytona. I think we've got a pretty good shot. Just over 2.5 minutes left in practice, though. Alonso Chicano currently is P1 on the practice charts. So you know what? Let's go ahead and hear them. Guys, Adam, Ben, who's your pick to win?
Well, I will pick someone who I brought up earlier. Right now, 14th in this practice session, Alex Kerfan. I think he's going to be strong tonight and clinch that win to make a playoff berth here tonight, set his goal into the playoffs, and not have to worry about next week.
And in my case, I'm going to have to go with Alonso Chicano, who's on top of the practice charts right now. He had a great run, getting a top 5 at IRP when I interviewed him after that race, and he was under flu-like symptoms trying to run that race. And the fact he was able to grab a solid finish despite being under flu-like symptoms and shoving fluids down throughout those 200 laps, I think that gives him a lot of confidence now that he's happy and healthy this week.
You guys are both going with some radius guys. I'm going to go with a little bit of a wild card here. And it's a good thing Dawson isn't here, although he might be listening. I at least won't get verbal abuse from him on this. But I'm going to go with the driver with the number 47, Brett Bennett.
Oh, no. Josh, how could you?
Kansas is such a good track for Brett.
He
Currently,
would have won one race here one time if it wasn't for...
well, okay, and the difference in that is that was an open setup league. This is a fixed setup league. But you know what? Brett is still really good at Kansas. He's been actually really solid at the mile and a half all season long anyway. Brett currently sitting P9 on the practice chart. We know it's not where you practice. It's not where you qualify. It's where you finish. And I think Brett, he's learned a lot this season. He's learned not to stay out on old tires when everybody else comes in to take tires because he thinks the caution is going to come out, a.k.a. Michigan. I think Brett has, it's time. I think Brett gets it done tonight. Watch for that 47 to claim the victory.
I mean, the one thing, Josh, that is going for him right now, if the practice charts are any indication, is Josh Arnold is all the way down in 24th right now on the speed chart. So if the speed chart is indicative of how they qualify and race, this could be a really big points day for Brett, even if he doesn't get the win.
Checker flag is waving on practice, and we are about to head to qualifying. And we wait to see if it is Zach Probst's first one out on track. And it is. No surprise. Zach Probst, a couple seasons ago, really good qualifier. Still qualifies pretty good, just not dominant like he had been. Zach Probst is always someone that I continue to look for during qualifying because he is so good at it. He's going to cross the line. Entering high in turns 1 and 2, I'm not really surprised about this. I was taking some practice laps earlier. I did a mock qualifying run, even though I knew I wasn't going to be racing. I still wanted to know what it was going to be like. And this is exactly what I did. Ran the high line on my first lap. Kind of like what you would expect to see at Daytona Talladega. And, yeah, Zach Probst's going to cross the line. Ethan Fonseca Marino currently P1. I think 31.326. Zach Probst sitting P4. Now going to roll the bottom through 1 and 2. Come through 3 and 4. Getting as much power as he possibly can. Cutting the apron. Zach Probst. P3. 31.079 for Zach Probst.
Pretty solid lap for the 62.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno, top of the board right now, at 31.008. Looking at Bennett Allen right now in the 15, sits P11, 31.5.
P8 for Bennett Allen. 31.120. Alonso Chicano. And your pick. P11 on the board.
Yeah, I suspect Chicano, given if he's P11 qualifying after this practice run, he's probably set up for a longer run in terms of his car setup.
I think he'll put a big number up here, though.
Let's see what he does on the second lap.
Crosses the line. 31.024, P3 for Alonso Chicano.
Good lap. Really tight amongst those top three. They're not separated by very much up there. Wow, Jeffrey Armistead up to 5th.
Justin Duran. He is on his first lap. Saw him roll on the bottom 1 and 2. Now going to be up there against the wall. Justin Duran, P15, a 31.285. Caldwell goes to P9. Duran crosses the line. P8.
Justin won the most recent race we've had here at Kansas Speedway last season. We look at Noah Mary returning to the Pits News Truck Series. Part-time effort here for this 8 truck, of course. Josh, of course, we remember back to, I believe it was still Season 1 when he made his debut here in the series and came out with a win. It's been very unfortunate since then with time over time again just being involved in incidents. Let's see what this does tonight. He's going to run out of time on his qualifying lap, of course, but blank number 8 truck, I think he's going to be pretty decent tonight.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. And there we go. Let's go ahead and look at our starting grid. And starting on the pole is going to be Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Alex Kerfan starts P2. Alonso Chicano starts 3rd. Michael Walls starting 4th. Jeffrey Armistead in 5th. Tristan Maher starts 6th. Cole Snyder 7th. Justin Rand 8th. Andrew Elias 9th. And Michael Kruger will round out the top 10.
Starting on row number 6 is going to be last race winner Cameron Caldwell, sharing that row with Josh Europick, the 47 of Brett Bennett. Starting on row number 7 is going to be the 62 of Zach Probst, and the 61 Corey Cook in the in his second start here in the Pits News Truck Series. And Josh Arnold starts behind him alongside Bennett Allen, Austin J. McGill, and Tyler Watermolen, and David Durand and Nathan Lehman round out the top 20 starting spots.
And as we look at the remainder of the field, Matt Steiner making a rare appearance on the inside of row 11 with Brian C. Smith on the outside. And then we have O'Neill on the inside of row 12 with Crump to his outside in row 12. Then we have Jonathan Parker on the inside of row 13 with Maury on the outside, who Josh mentioned earlier. Then we have Noel on the inside of row 14 with Tucker on the outside in the 64 truck. And rounding out the field, in shotgun of the field, in row 15, Jackson Tate.
That is our starting lineup for tonight's race. Stage 1 will end at the conclusion of lap 34. Remind you again of our picks to win. Adam choosing Alex, Ben choosing Alonso, and myself taking Brett Bennett. something else we haven't mentioned, other than just naming his name there on the starting grid, is Jonathan Parker making start number 5 of 5 this season. Not qualifying, starting in the back, getting an EOL actually as well, doing so. Jonathan Parker, strong contender. We'll see what he can do tonight.
Parker has 2 wins in 2 out of the 4 starts he's done this season, so he's batting 500 this year.
Green flag is waving. We are underway here at Kansas. Alonso Chicano looking to the inside of Ethan Fonseca Moreno, trying to take the race lead away. I think Alonso might lead lap 1, but Ethan trying to come back on that outside line.
Yeah,
Pretty
Moreno.
good.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, sorry, Ben. Pretty good start here for Jeffrey Elmstead, who qualified in that 5th position, staying down low, trying to challenge Alex Coffin the last time through 1 and 2. Gonna have to tuck in line right here.
Say Moreno seems to be making that high line work. Nearly got into the wall earlier, and wow, he gets real close there on that one. I think he might have lost some momentum on that time, but for lap 1 there, he got some good momentum on the exit.
Coffin now to the inside of Alonso for the lead, Josh.
Yeah, your guys' picks to win side by side for that race lead. Kerfan, he's going to dive it down into turn 3. Kerfan, new leader here in Kansas. Fonseca Moreno on the bottom. He's trying to work his way around Alonso Chicano.
3 wide in the back there for like 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Cole Snyder in the middle of Justin Aran on the bottom. Tristan Maher up top. Maher going to tuck into line. Cole Snyder gets up there, but still looking 3 wide.
That's tight on that pass there.
Yeah, now space given right there through 3 and 4. Tristan's going to stay on the outside lane as Cole dips all the way to the apron, runs a traditional line through the front straightaway. Going to be able to get the job done running that lane.
It feels a little bit like Snyder is kind of searching around the track at him, trying to figure out by experimenting with lines where his truck runs best.
I think Alex Griffin may be doing the same, because here comes Alonso Chicano to his inside for the lead.
Moreno looking high on the outside there. Chicano going to shut the door. I thought they were going to go 3 wide there for a minute.
Yeah, they still
Michael
might.
Oh no, here they are, might go. Oh, that good block by Alonso there to stop the momentum Moreno had. That was tight.
And right now, Michael Wallace has been quietly just outside the top 5 pretty much all night early on in this going, and he has quietly picked up a couple positions, up in 4th now, and putting the pressure on the 30 and 43 trucks.
I think we've already had our first retirement of the race. Looks like Matt Steiner has dropped out.
Fonseca Moreno on the back bumper of Chicano. Looking to the inside, they're both going to be on that apron.
Great run by Moreno there. Let's see if he can complete the pass and hold on to it on the inside here.
Moreno's going to try to slide it up. He's way clear, able to do so. Chicano not close enough to try a crossover, but going to look to the bottom here in 3. Not enough momentum. Right now having to tuck in behind that 43 machine of Moreno. Brett Bennett back here battling McGill, Probst. Probst going to look to the bottom. They're going to be 3 wide.
So it looks like Bennett might lose 2 positions here. Gets stuck in the sucker hole. Looks like he backed away and fought better of trying to hold on to that line.
Yeah, he's going to get him right ahead of his SBOD teammate, Andrew Elias, who's going to give him a shove down the back straight away. But for the lead, this continues. Alonso Chicano continues his rally on the inside line. What can he do against the 43?
And as they run side by side, that's pulling Michael Walls into this battle as well.
One thing I noticed a moment ago was Alexander Kerfin falling to about the 5th position, and since then he continues to fall through the top 10.
Yeah,
Got passed. Sorry, Ben. He got passed by Corey Cook, but he was able to retake that position now.
Oh, Caldwell in the wall.
Oh, big hit.
Boy, he's still in it. Oh, finally off of it. Gives Corey Cook nowhere to go, really.
Narrowly avoiding calamity there in off 4.
And Caldwell made up a lot of spots there early on in this one before the contact with the wall.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is Caldwell's first start at Kansas Speedway in the series.
Yeah, you would be correct in that, Josh. Season 1, he was on vacation. Season 2, he was on vacation during this race. Was the season finale. Championship wrapped up. He was not able to participate. Same thing with season 3, and he without for season 3, I can confirm where he was. He was on the monorail at Disneyland watching that one.
These 2 are still bound for the lead. Now we got a 4-truck battle for the lead, as here comes Jeffrey Armistead getting into this. He's going to be looking under.
Oh yeah, he definitely
Wow.
did. He ate the wall there big time off of turn 4, Josh. And he's going to lose 3 positions.
That's gonna hurt a little bit, but I still don't see any damage on the right side of his truck. He might be all right. But you know, I've been thinking about this, watching those 2 battle, and seeing Michael Walsh just kind of sitting there, being patient. Right now, Walsh sitting in 2nd, Chicano the leader, of course, but you know, has Chicano been burning his tires a bit, battling with Ethan? Is this going to come into play for Michael Walls to pass Alonso here in a few laps?
I know I mentioned it about 10 laps ago, but he has just been clicking off position after position, nice and smooth, and I bring it up because, Josh, you and I both know this very well. He is one of the most aggressive drivers in the league, and he has this big reputation already, even as a rookie, of not really holding back so far in this on Saturday night, so it's been really refreshing to see him just quietly make it through the field. I know it's still early, we're still within the first 20 laps, but it is a very, in my opinion, it's awesome to see the 7 truck right now get through the field the way he has and contest Chicano for this lead like he did moments ago, but Alonso trying to extend it, but he got twitchy off of turn 2.
I'm not sure.
Oh, he's got a good run, though.
I'm not sure if twitchy's the right word there, Adam. I think Alonso actually got the wall.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Oh, real tight there off exit for the 7. Jeffrey Armistead might take a look.
Armistead is there. Oh, Alonso trying to make it 3 wide.
Oh, this is tight, boys. Easy. How did they not wreck?
Oh, Alonso's getting tight.
Yeah, he had to back out of the throttle or else he was going to the wall. Walls is going to be the big winner out of this. He's got some clean racetrack in front of him, and that's going to put Chicano into the clutches of Jeffrey Armistead. Also, Moreno coming back up into this fight.
It's top 4 drivers all under a blanket for the race lead, and not too far back is Justin Rand, that number 5 machine. I believe you mentioned it earlier, Adam. Justin Rand, the defending winner here. And he's leading Cole Snyder, Michael Kruger, Alex Kerfan, and a bunch of others trying to catch that back 4 ahead.
To your earlier point, Josh, some of these guys have been really sliding around doing the diamonds in the corners to get a good line and launch off the turn. And you have to wonder, and I agree with you to wonder, whose tires are going to wear out first, because that's going to play a factor here in the long run.
You know, this track is such a high-line dependent track, but I still feel like the drivers that are running the low line, or at least attempting to, are going to have the advantage in the longer run. Right here, Alonso Chicano trying to make a move on Micah Walls for the race lead. Not going to be able to. He's going to be stuck side by side with Jeffrey Armistead.
Armistead might have kissed the wall there slightly off of turn 4, but able to keep all the momentum up, even with Alonso Chicano a little bit ahead here going into turn 1. And Ethan Von Moreno has been doing a great job not letting these 3 lose touch of him, even though he did lose the lead just a little bit ago.
Count out Jeffrey Armistead, yet he's still there. He's being very patient, just riding on the back bumper of Walls. Imagine the upset if Jeffrey Armistead, sitting 19th in points, could really pull off a win and really shake up the playoff standings going into Dega.
Jeffrey Armistead looking to the inside of Michael Walls. And as a broadcaster, I'm going to answer that with, yeah, that would be very interesting. I like seeing chaos. As a racer in this series, I don't want to see that happen because that's just going to make it harder for me to make it.
conflicting emotions there, Josh.
I'm broadcaster. We'll stay professional tonight, but yeah, Jeffrey Armistead trying to look underneath Michael Walls. Go ahead, Adam.
One thing about that, he has been a part-time racer all season long, not really committing to a schedule. He doesn't have enough starts right now to qualify for the playoffs, so if he were to have a phenomenal performance tonight and keep this run up going, I think he would have to commit to both Talladega races next week to qualify for the postseason playoffs.
But if you have the W, running them wouldn't really be a big stress for him. He just has to get it.
As long as he can make it. I know he hasn't ran the full season because of things coming up on Saturday night, so that's if he's able to show up next week.
High line prevailing again. The top, you see Walls, Moreno, and Chicano drafting together, and they're just managing to leave Armistead out to dry.
Yeah, and here comes Ethan with a huge run on Michael Walls down the front straightaway. Almost contact a couple times there, guys.
It's just such good racing right here. And don't look now, but look who's creeping up behind them in 5th.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
Oh, that was tight. How did Moreno put the truck in that opening?
Yeah, as you guys were mentioning, I was going to bring it up a couple laps ago as well. It was Michael Kruger and Justin Duran, but Justin Duran has now driven away from the 14, so make it a 5-truck battle for the lead. Wanted to shout out that 14 truck though, because he has moved up quite a bunch of positions early on in this race, Josh. Up to the 6th position right now for Mikey Kruger.
These guys just giving it everything they have. They know they don't have very many laps left until the stage caution. Still, Michael Walls leading this race. Ethan's going to get a little bit of a bump from Alonso Chicano. Jeffrey Armistead looking to make a move on Chicano. Here comes Justin Duran. Duran's going to look to the inside of Armistead.
One has to ask the question here, gentlemen. Was Duran kind of holding back there in the early laps, taking care of his tires?
He might have been. This very well might come into play. Justin Duran trying to win this stage.
Battle for the lead here. Moreno coming back in on Walls. Walls managed to just barely shut the door on him on the exit. But Moreno's going to cross over and try again going into 3 and 4.
Moreno looking to the bottom. Not quite there. Walls shutting the door. Moreno looking lower. I think they might have made a tad bit of contact there. I saw Walls was a little squirrely.
They were leaning. Yeah, well, they were definitely leaning on each other, going all the way down the front stretch there. Great racing though in car control to hold on to it and not spin each other. Despite that, Moreno still holding on the inside.
Moreno gonna slide up in front of Walls. Walls gonna try it to crossover.
That was tight, boys.
Now Walls gonna look to the inside. Advantage Moreno off turn 2 down the back straightaway.
There's that high line on corner exit for 2. Just has such an advantage on launch.
Yeah, it's going to be so tough for Michael Walls to get around that 43 right now without a mistake.
Here comes Alonso back, closing back up to the back of them. He's around that high line there and gains some momentum.
Just 2 to go in the stage.
Should be a good sign to viewers at home just how much stage points do matter to these guys.
And hopefully a preview for what's going to happen at the end of this race. As Michael Walls, a good run there through turn 4, last lap of the stage, Josh. I don't know if it's going to happen here. He's all over the back bumper of the 43.
I think Walls might have needed some more momentum there in turn 1. This might be all Moreno needs. Too big of a gap.
I think Moreno has it. Got a great gap on the exit of 2 there.
Off turn 4, Walls in the wall.
Oh, big hit for Walls.
And that's going to bring out the caution. Your stage 1 results. Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Michael Walls, Alonso Chicano, Justin Duran, Jeffrey Armistead, Michael Kruger, Alex Kerfan, Cole Snyder, Bennett Allen, and Cameron Caldwell.
There's a pretty big group of guys back there around 10th who were fighting for that stage point. And I'm sure Josh Arnold is probably breathing a sigh of relief that Brett Bennett wasn't able to take that stage point and ended up in 12th.
Josh Arnold currently in 13th. Brett Bennett currently 12th. These guys, they just can't get away from each other.
No, they can't. And the closer that Arnold runs with Bennett, the the more he can prevent Brett from closing that gap on him.
This pit road is open, and everybody except Andrew Elias coming down pit road. Andrew trying to lead a lap. He did get to the start-finish line.
Other truck staying out back there.
That's the 11, Jackson Tate, who is a lap down. Pit road would be closed for him. Race off pit road. Ethan Fonseca Moreno gonna win that race off pit road. Stay as race leader, assuming Andrew Elias come down pit road here this time by. Well, let's go ahead and bring up our stage 1 winner. And Adam, how about you do the honors? Chat with him.
Hey Ethan, it's the guys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, stage winner there. What do you feel of that 43 truck after 34 laps here?
Well, it's got some damage, so it's gonna hold back a little bit of pace, but it feels pretty fast though. Just struggling in traffic because dirty air is really, really bad. It snaps around and sometimes it gets tight. But yeah, I think I was a little bit too aggressive early in the start. Just kind of burnt up my stuff and hit the wall a few times. Kind of necessary, but I'm trying to get that clean air as well. So, because this thing is fast. I think if we get a long run here, this next stint, we can probably drive away.
Yeah, we saw the contact with the wall a little bit earlier. Racing up here for the stage one was very competitive between you, Alonso, Micah. What do you think is going to go forward the rest of the stage? Do you think it's going to be as competitive here this next run?
Yeah, definitely a short run because clean air is very key, especially in these trucks. So you get the clean air, you get the best handling of your truck. So yeah, I expect the same thing to happen as it did earlier.
Alright, good luck in there. We'll be watching, and hopefully we get to talk to you a little bit later on.
All right, thanks.
That was Ethan Fonseca Moreno, stage winner, current race leader as well, Josh. He thinks it's going to be a short one here, so now a little bit until we get the next yellow, apparently.
Coming to the choose cone rule. Ethan takes the bottom. Alonso Chicano with the top. Michael Walls taking the bottom. Seen on screen there where drivers have to be. And of course, if they go through the middle, it is a penalty.
Looks like Tate got, excuse me, looks like Tate got the free pass there, so looks like all 28 out of 29 trucks still running, 28 on the lead lap.
This field is working through 3 and 4. We're going to restart with 95 laps to go. We are under caution for the first time, and it was because of the stage ending. Pace truck coming in pit road. And inside the restart zone, green flag is waving. It looks like a little bit of a bobble there from the 12th.
Big mad scramble. We got 4 wide in the back of the pack there.
Bennett Allen trying to get around this 12. Cameron Caldwell.
Ethan's going to slide up there over Alonso Chicano, trying to keep that lead. Alonso all the way to the bottom of the track, below the apron. They both go a little bit. Alonso's got a good run, though, into 2 and 1.
Great pass for Chicano. Let's see if he can hold on to it. Looks like he's going to get crossed over by Fonseca Moreno, who just has... Looks like he has the best overall truck out there right now.
Yeah, but Ben, Alonso has that preferred line. Can Ethan pull another slider off and retake that lead? Looks like he's going to try here in 2 and 4.
Someone caught the wall. I think it might have been Michael Kruger. They're 3 wide. Bennett Allen in the middle. Kerfan on the bottom.
And the battle for the lead continues. Ethan was able to keep the lead, but Alonso took the outside lane. Wasn't able to keep the momentum through 1 and 2, though, so Ethan now clear for the lead.
Cameron Caldwell looking on the bottom. Jeffrey Armistead. It is Alonso Chicano underneath. Fonseca Moreno for the race lead.
These two can't stay off each other. They've been the class of the field pretty evenly matched, and it's been pretty cool watching them just trade blows in a war maneuver up there for the lead. And here comes Walls closing up on them too. Don't count him out.
Great turn forward for Chicano. They're able to put his truck back clear ahead of 43 of Moreno, who's going to tuck to the inside here. Thought he would have tried and gone the outside lane, knowing how dominant it is, but he's going to pull to the bottom and let it coast all the way up to the top here off of 2.
And Moreno went way down on the apron there, and Chicano cut him a lot of slack there and gave him plenty of room.
Cameron Caldwell trying to work his way into this battle for the race lead. He is currently underneath 3rd place, Michael Walls. Caldwell wants a taste of this action up front.
It looks like Caldwell made some adjustments to his truck, and he's looking pretty good right now. Got clear of Walls pretty easily. Let's see if he has anything for these top 2. Still got a pretty big side-by-side battle going on back here between with Kruger and Allen was up there, and he kind of lost some momentum. But now he's got Justin Duran going back and forth with Kruger.
Kruger right now stuck behind Jeffrey Armistead. These guys just so close together. Here comes Kerfan diving it all the way down to the bottom. 3 wide. Kerfan, Duran, Kruger.
Yeah, Justin's in a very vulnerable situation here. He's going to try and hold a good line there with Alex on his inside. In fact, he's going to be able to clear the outside lane with Kruger pulling ahead there. Bennett Allen's going to tuck right to his back bumper, though.
I think I don't know if he managed to touch him a little bit. He got real close there, Adam.
These three battling for the 7th position.
Bennett Allen gonna look down to the bottom. Still side by side with Justin Rand, gonna try to get the tail from Michael Kruger down that front straightaway.
But the momentum for Justin Rand is carrying him through the corner with Kruger running the outside lane there. Rand's going to be able to clear him off of turn 2. And that was the first side-by-side battle on track. Everyone in this top 10 right now, single file.
Might not stay that way for long. Chicano's starting to close back up, and he's going under Moreno for the lead now. Or was going looking under, but Moreno had plenty of momentum off of 4. These two are starting to separate themselves from the rest of the pack.
Not much room between the top two as Chicano pulling right up to the back tailgate of Moreno. Chicano staying patient.
And these two continue to drive away a little bit from the rest of the field. Cameron Caldwell in that 3rd position, 7.5 tenths of a second behind these guys. Michael Wall is about 3 tenths behind that, so pretty competitive with these top 2. Like we were talking about earlier, not as much as top 5 like we saw in that first stage though.
You hit on a good point there earlier, is that as they stay nose to tail drafting off each other, it gives them some separation from the pack, and I think Alonso realizes that and is willing to bide his time, create some separation from the rest of the pack, so that when he does start to side-by-side battle with Moreno, it doesn't pull somebody else into the battle.
Yeah, exactly, Ben. It's a lot easier to beat one truck than 28 of them, so if you only have to race Ethan, then why make it any harder on yourself and let these guys continue to get closer to you? It could be a good strategy. We saw almost work last week in the NASCAR Cup race at Michigan towards the end of it with Reddick and Buescher, so could be a good strategy, but Cameron Caldwell trying to not let that happen, eating into the lead little by little here.
The other thing to keep in mind about is, as well as these guys knew a caution was going to come out at lap 34. Now we're not guaranteed another yellow. We are, we could go green all the way to the end here. So I think a little bit of the difference is between what we saw before the stage caution and now is these guys were just trying to race to that stage yellow. They didn't really care about their tires as much as they do now.
Talking about cautions, Josh, a little stat we talked about pre-race before we came on air, and I have the stats to back it up now. 3 cautions for a total of 11 laps between the 200 and I can't do that math. 268 laps or whatever we have done in the competition here at this track between the 2 races. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see if that trend continues. Obviously a different placement on the schedule this season, but so far it's looking very likely.
Justin Duran, Armistead, they're battling for P5. Armistead has it, Duran wants it. Justin Duran gonna look to the inside now.
And guys, look who's entered the top 10. The first time we have said his name since trucks have rolled off the grid, I believe. Jonathan Parker in the 81 truck, mentioned batting 500 this season. Looking pretty strong, making his way through the field pretty quietly. No damage, it looks like, on that 81, and he's just behind. Alex Kurf and Michael Kruger just got by around Tristan Maher a couple moments ago, and looking pretty racy right here just behind these two.
No surprise to see Jonathan Parker inside the top 10. I know there were a lot of drivers that thought it was going to be really tough to get through the field overall, and I think it has been. With such a big field tonight, Jonathan Parker on the outside of Alex Kerfman, trying to get the 9th spot.
Yeah, I think it is really hard to get through the field tonight because first time we mentioned his name over 50 laps into the race, and usually he's up to the top 10 by lap 20 or 30 and contending for stage points, if not the stage wins. So that really, I think, is a testament of how competitive it is tonight, Josh.
I agree with you both, gentlemen. It's very competitive tonight. We've seen this really tight racing. The one thing with this part of the race versus what we saw in Stage 1 is going to be a factor is now we're really going to see who does the best as the tires wear. And it could be in Jonathan Parker, as you just saw, went by Kruger and Kerfan like it was nothing while they're still battling. And I think Parker is just being very smooth out there. He's not really pushing 100% on the throttle, I'd suspect. And I think he's just running a consistent line, taking care of the tires, and it's paying off for him.
Battle for the race lead. Ethan Fonseca Moreno lost it to Alonso Chicanos. We were talking about Jonathan Parker, and Moreno's right back to trying to claim it back from Chicano. They were nose to tail. Moreno was right there on the front straightaway, entering 1. Right now having to settle behind Chicano for the time being. Jonathan Parker up to P8.
Got a little ways to go to catch that next truck. You see the gap there to Bennett Allen in the 15, running in the 7th position right now. Pretty quiet night for him as well. He's just behind Jeffrey Armistead, who we've mentioned quite a lot tonight. These two still running along right near each other after their 3 wide escapades a little bit ago.
Justin Rand hounding Cameron Caldwell for P4.
Looks like they were battling up side by side for a little bit there again between the top 2 of Moreno and Chicano. Moreno prevailed and pulled away from Chicano just a little bit.
These trucks are so fun to watch, whether it's in sim or in person. We've been seeing a really good show tonight. Bennett Allen trying to catch up to Jeffrey Armistead.
I believe Michael Kruger just peeled off the racetrack and hit pit road. Don't think he's the only one. Alex Kerfan as well. Zach Probst, I believe, came in a moment ago.
Yeah, it looks like a couple guys trying to short pit here a little bit.
It's going to be Justin Duran and Bennett Allen coming in this time. Brian Smith coming in as well. I don't think these guys are going to come in.
Yeah, not quite yet. Michael was in that 3rd position, doing just trying to run those 2 down. The gap has just been fluctuating back and forth between 2nd and 3rd positions as we see some more trucks peel off onto pit road. Roy Crump leading them.
Roy Crump, Tyler Watermole, and Matt Steiner.
And hey, if you're these guys who are towards the back of the field, you might as well come in and pit now, seeing if you can get a little bit of a short-term tire advantage over the leaders and see if that can help you make up some ground. But Chicano comes in now.
And Chicano, the only one coming in this time. We are halfway through this race. See the Montego Moreno continues to lead. The Amsoil Kansas 200.
Michael Wall still keeping a consistent pace with him, as well as Chicano earlier. Quietly staying up there in the top 5 in this run.
Through this strategy, we have some new names, of course, in the top 10. Corey Cook, right now 9th. Nathan Lehman, 10th. Brett Bennett has made his way up to the 8th position.
I have to wonder if a couple of these guys are probably hoping for a caution that rolls in their favor.
You guys hoping it stays green probably would be Michael Kruger and Justin Duran. Maybe not Justin Duran. He has the lucky dog position right now as it stands, racing against that 14 truck. But see how much the tires matter here, Josh. Just they blew right by Corey Cook in the 61 truck and gapping him immensely down the back straight.
Alex Kerfan was the fastest last time by. It was a 31.107 compared to the leader, a 32.783. Of course, Kerfan has already come down pit road, whereas Montego Moreno has yet to pit.
You mentioned second half of this race now, Josh, so I think this pit strategy is going to be very interesting here as we see one truck slowing up on the bottom. I thought that was Brett Bennett peeling off to pit. It's just him getting passed with all these guys on the fresh tires blowing right by him. See Cam Caldwell leaving pit road.
Cook coming into pit road this time. Here's battle for P3. Jeffrey Armstead and Jonathan Parker. Just behind them is that battle between Justin Rand and Michael Kruger. Of course, they're both lapped down. So they both have come down pit road. And they're going to blow right past that 81 of Jonathan Parker and now blow past Jeffrey Armstead.
Longer these guys stay out, like when they come back out on the track, they'll have the fresher tires, but they will be probably have lost some ground to some of the guys that are around them. So you see a lot of them haven't lapped to themselves.
And we see this time and time again where Jonathan Parker stays out longer than a lot of other guys under reflect pit cycles. Now, I know some people here are trying a extra pit stop than others. So Jonathan Parker might not be planning on pitting at the same time as those that have already come down pit road.
Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, the traditional pit window for Kansas is like 50 to 54 laps. So you can go a little longer here. The trouble is like when you have this much of the field that have pitted for fresher tires, it could come back to bite you. So we'll see how the strategy works. I like it when we have these diverse strategies that drivers are approaching with. It kind of adds another layer to the race.
I say it time and time again. I'm not a crew chief. I am a spotter, but I'm not a crew chief. And right now, I don't know what the best strategy is. I personally wouldn't know what strategy I would go with. If I were to base anything off my PBR teammates, Bennett Allen and Michael Kruger have fallen a bit, so maybe I would have come down pit road with them. But I don't know. It's really tough to say, and this is why I'm glad I'm not a crew chief, because I don't know what strategy would work. Battle back here. Cole Snyder, Nathan Lehman battling for the 8th position. Brian Smith lapped down. He's already come down pit road. He's going to work his way around these guys on the high line. David Duran, Brett Bennett battling for P6.
Good momentum for Brett Bennett on the bottom there.
David was all the way up there against the wall in that Kyle Larson line. You mentioned Brett Bennett on the bottom. It's like bidding down there. Roy Crump coming into the picture on fresher tires.
Boy, just a run difference of fresh tires versus old tires, that's huge.
I think Brett Bennett actually was at a disadvantage there. He's been running the bottom line. Not the same line as David Duran, as we were talking about with Roy Crump down there. He's getting dirty air right on the nose of Brett Bennett. Might have hurt him a bit. Meanwhile, up front,
Walls closing on Moreno.
indeed he is. Michael Walls has been quicker than Moreno several laps in a row here. Moreno's looking bottom, Walls looking high.
We saw this a little bit too in the first run. Like, Moreno tends to diversify his lines and slide around quite a lot. And they're side by side here, and it might be, and it's definitely the tires are going, whereas Walls tends to run a more consistent approach. He doesn't slide around as often.
So Walls takes the lead, now driving away from Moreno a little bit, but not too far behind is that number 20 and 81, Armistead and Parker closing in.
Yeah, Parker has consistently been running faster than the three ahead of him and has made up a lot of time. Oh, here we go. Leader's pit.
Either Bottega Moreno and Jeffrey Armistead going to bring it down pit road, as well as, I believe that's Tristan Maher behind. That is Tristan Maher come down as well.
In about 52, 53 laps on the fuel run for those guys, so we're hitting right at the limit of the window. I think we might see Walls coming in this time.
Jonathan Parker as well. It's Brett Bennett. Brett Bennett's going to go to P1. Lead a lap.
Still got Lehman and Snyder and Josh Arnold out there as well. Andrew Elias is, I think, it's the first car running of the guys who have pitted.
Andrew Elias actually has yet to come down pit road.
Oh, I stand corrected then.
Is Alonso Chicano. Brett Bennett makes his way down pit road. There's Alonso Chicano, and then just behind him is this battle right here. Kruger.
Oh, that's tight.
Bennett Allen and Justin Horan. This
They were almost 3 wide at one point.
and this is a
With
battle.
very little room.
This is a battle for what should be P2 once top.
Once things cycle through.
Yeah, and put Cameron Caldwell into that battle as well.
4 trucks under a blanket here, battling really hard. Lehman's finally in the pits. Elias is in. So it's just Snyder and Arnold are the only ones still need to pit. Chicano's got to be looking in the rearview mirror, loving this, because he's got about a 2-second gap on them as they keep battling.
Yeah, actually, let me pull this up.
Bennett Allen putting the chrome horn to Chicano there a bit. Oh, we got a truck in the wall. Looks like Mike Kruger got in the wall really hard. He's going to lose multiple positions here.
Yeah, he's falling down. It's P5 for Michael Kruger. Right here is Bennett Allen, Cameron Caldwell battling for P2. So if you look on the ticker right now, it's the laps since last pit. 21 laps for race leader Alonso Chicano, 18 Cameron Caldwell. Make that 19 for Cameron Caldwell, 24 for Durant and Allen. Just behind, Caldwell has a little bit fresher tires than everybody else in the top 5.
And then you got Moreno, who went all the way to the end of the window. These guys here might actually be pitting again very soon, I would think, because they pitted with only 30 to 33 laps on their tires, and I have to wonder if they're going to do that, continue that pattern. Caldwell's cut down the gap from Chicano a little bit. Was over 2 seconds at one point. Now it's down to 1.6, under just about 1.6, 1.7 seconds now.
I don't know if that was netcode or not. Caldwell just hit the wall on my end. It didn't look like it slowed him down any. Maybe it did. I don't see any damage.
No, I don't see neither. He did slow down slightly. He was 1.6 back. Now he's back to 2 seconds back.
He very well might have caught that wall.
So far, we only have 3 trucks out of the race. Looks like Jeffrey Armistead's in the pit.
Wow, Alonso Chicano under pressure from a couple of trucks that are on fresher tires. Bull Snyder underneath, trying to get his lap back. got Josh Arnold behind. Arnold's going to pass him low. Arnold on fresher tires, lap truck. PBR teammates battling for third place. Andrew Elias gonna go underneath, 3 wide. Elias not for position.
Oh, just trying to unlap himself. Oh, looks like that hit to the wall earlier didn't really affect Kruger all that much. He's recovering, seems to be recovering nicely here. Got by Duran, now he's going after Bennett Allen. Caldwell's pulled away from this group. And meanwhile, Alonso Chicano has checked out and left the building.
Brett Bennett, Matt Steiner. Bennett's going to take 14th away.
Keep in mind, too, at the point, the cutoff battle, Arnold is running down about 21st right now. So this could, with only 11 points separating them coming into this race, there's an opportunity here for Bennett to really cut into that lead.
He is going to get an extra point with lap lead.
Yeah, so now he only has to make up 10 points as opposed to 11 points. Arnold did not lead a lap. 21st now versus Brett Bennett in 13th. Things hold true right now. That would be a swing of 8 more points. And as they run it, the cutoff would be down to only 2-point separation. Oh, we got trucks in the pits.
Ethan Fonseca Marino, Corey Cook, Brian C. Smith come down pit road.
Yep, 30 laps, right on the money there, Josh. Except the guys who went a full, like, 54, 55 lap fuel run, based on when they came out, with about, I'd say they have about 40, 50, like somewhere right at the borderline where they probably are one-stopping it versus two-stop strategy. I think that's what we're seeing here for the diversity and strategy.
Something happened to Bennett Allen. Yeah, he got the wall. I noticed when I come back over here that he was behind Michael Kruger and Justin Aran, and I was pretty sure he had been ahead of them at first. So, seeing right there on a JCTV replay, Bennett Allen catching the wall.
He caught it pretty good too. He was trying to rim ride the wall there, and I'd say about half of turn 4 there, he was up against the wall. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down too much here, though, Josh. I think he's closing back up.
Closing in a little bit. Draft is also helping.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Roy Crump coming into pit road. Brian C. Smith actually still down pit road. Kerfan bringing his 30 truck in. I have to imagine it won't be long for the rest of the Radius crew to follow suit. Alonso Chicano, Cameron Caldwell, Justin Aran. Speaking of Justin Aran, he is coming down pit road.
Good to see Justin with a nice conservative entry there on pit road. Remember, Josh, 2 seasons ago in this race, his opportunity at his first career win went away because of a pit road entry.
Gonna make it into the box. Matt Steiner coming down pit road.
Solid night for that 38 truck. We saw him make his debut in this league 2 weeks ago at IOP. He got involved in quite a bit of issues, but that was the nature of the beast at IOP and few of his doing, but that's...
Caution on the back straightaway. Harold Tucker, the third around.
Oh my goodness, that changes everything. Right in the middle of the pit cycle, too.
31 laps to go, Josh. This is going to be very interesting how this is going to shake up as we look at the JCTV replay. Racing Shane O'Neill in the 91 off of turn 2.
That was a very bad angle, too. Let's see if our blimp camera caught it. Just trying to
See
pull a
Roy
slider.
Plump go right through there on fresh tires, and I think he just slid up off the corner, Josh.
Yeah,
Well, if you're the guys who are just pitting right now, Josh, you're sitting in the catbird seat right now.
I'm not sure if any of them stayed on lead lap, though, Ben.
no.
Mhm.
Everybody that had already come down pit road laps down, or 1 lap down. And if they take the wave around, which I assume they would,
Still going to be tail of the field, though, of course, yeah.
yep, tail
It's
of the
going to
field.
be...
Otto was on the verge of nearing pitting like the rest of his teammates, but he stayed out a little longer, and he's going to be the biggest winner of this.
We'll have to see if this 25 team executes this pit stop first, though, Josh.
And right here, it's going to be Cameron Caldwell. Race off pit road.
Great.
That was really close.
Yeah.
And Alonso entered pit road with a little bit of a gap, too. About a truck and a half distance between the two of them when they hit the pit line.
It looks like Alonso might have spun the tires slightly trying to launch as the jack dropped.
And of course, guys, we're not racing a full fuel window here, so it could have just been a difference of how much fuel they put in the truck there.
That's a valid point too, Adam. We saw Cameron Caldwell come through in the clutch on pitch strategy 2 weeks ago. Let's see if that works out here. No, look at all the wave around trucks.
And there are a lot of them. Starting Justin Duran,
Yeah.
Michael Walls, Ethan Sega Marino, Corey Cook, Tristan Maher, Alex Kirkman.
Yeah, it looks like...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Josh. It looks like 15th through 24th or so, maybe 23rd are the wave around trucks here. Tristan Maher, I believe, is a wave around truck, but I think he was just 2 laps down at the timing of the yellow, so he's only going to get one of those back here, if this timing and scoring is correct at the moment.
And that is exactly what I'm seeing as well on my telemetry that you guys cannot see, is that Tristan Maher still a lap down. So he will be a wave around. The only thing that Tristan can hope for himself is that another caution comes out. He's not involved in it, and he will be the free pass if he can stay ahead of. Looks like the only other one is Harold Tucker, a lap down, but Harold Tucker's still on pit road.
Looks like Brian C. Smith is still on pit road too. Still a lot of competitive trucks in this too, Josh. I mean, we only have 3 officially right now, 3 trucks out of the race.
this other here, Tucker, is going to go down another lap, so believe that puts Tristan Maher all by himself on this lap, Josh. So if he gets a caution pretty quickly, going to be in a good situation. Still tail of the field, but a lot better off than being stuck 2 laps down like he could have been.
Cameron Caldwell taking the bottom, Alonso Chicano with the top. PBR teammates, Bennett Allen on the bottom, Michael Kruger taking the top. It's going to be row 2. Jeffrey Armistead on the bottom of row 3 with Jonathan Parker on top of row 3. Going to restart with 26 laps to go here in the Amsoil Kansas 200 here at Kansas Speedway. In the Blazers Sim Racing of the Pits News Truck Series. After this, 2 races remain in the regular season before the playoffs start. They're both Talladega next week in a doubleheader. A lot of pressure. Pace truck is going to come into the safety of pit road. Inside the restart zone in the hands of Cameron Caldwell. Green flag is back out. Very even restart.
Yeah, solid restart for Chicano. Manages to stay with Caldwell there. Let's see if Caldwell can get clear and move up high. Got a good push from Bennett Allen. Looks like Allen's actually going to try and take a look for a lead. Whoa, big battle there.
They're going to be 3 wide for P2. Alonso Chicano all the way at the wall. Michael Kruger right there. They're going to make contact. Chicano's going to go around Kruger into Armistead. And the 81 also involved. Big one.
There goes the neighborhood, boys.
Yeah, scattered trucks everywhere on the front straightaway. A lot of people driving away, but one of them slow to get going. Alonso Chicano, one of the most dominant trucks of the night.
And that really flips this. Race on its head. You take the best truck, and he just wrecked. And
yeah, we look at the JCTV replay. Sorry, Ben. He got in the wall and just shot down the track.
Yeah, he got arrow loose, I think, because he was so tight off of Kruger, and just couldn't hold on to it.
When we talked to Ethan Fonseca Moreno earlier at the conclusion of stage 1, he said it was going to be super aggressive. Everyone needs to be in the clean air, because when you're not, it drives really bad. And right there was a pretty good example of 25 driving really bad in the dirty air of Bennett Allen and Cameron Caldwell.
So Jonathan Parker got a piece of that accident too.
A little bit, I believe. Brett Bennett tapped it. He drove through the grass. Andrew Elias through the grass as well, but I think he made it through. Justin Rand clipping the tail of Alonso Chicano. And
I think David Durand also was involved. I think he might have been the one who shot the 81 a little sideways at first to trigger Jonathan Parker's issue.
You hit on it there a little earlier, Josh. Yeah, Brett Bennett, the big winner out of this accident.
How did he miss all those trucks right in front of his nose there, going through the grass to...
I don't know. That was a good move. I don't say this often, but that was some good wreck avoidance by Brett Bennett there.
Josh, if we have time, I think we might need to look at the onboard from that 47, because that was impressive.
alrighty. So here they are going down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Wow.
One thing that stood out to me very, very important there was the 25 twitched sideways as soon as the 12 and the 15 trucks washed up off of turn 4. I think that absolutely has everything to do with the aero dynamics of that 25 truck, the incident there.
Absolutely, they were just so tight on him. There was like hardly any room when you get pushed like that close between a truck and the wall. Like it's not allowing a lot of air to pass on the truck, and the truck really misbehaves from it.
So Jonathan Parker is P3. He was lightly involved in that accident. Gonna stay out. You see a little bit of damage to the left front of that truck. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm comparing apples to oranges. And again, I don't know how the 81 is going to feel after this. One thing I can speak of, though, is a couple weeks ago at IRP, driver the number 42 machine, Josh Coppernell, after coming back from 7 laps down, was inside the top 10. And on a restart, he was right behind Ethan Fonseca-Moreno, who got loose. Coppernell got into Moreno and didn't think the damage was that bad. On the restart, every time Coppernell, hit the brakes going into the corner, just could not control it. It would slide so bad, and it pretty much killed my run for a potential top 5. John Parker gonna have the door open to take the outside here on the front row. As mentioned, a little bit of damage. The one thing I can say is that was a short track. This is a mile and a half. I think you're better off having damage on a short track than a speedway like Kansas. But I don't know. Again, I'm not in that 81. I'm not sure how it's going to feel. You still could have a winning truck. But Cameron Caldwell taking the bottom. Jonathan Parker top. Bennett Allen on the bottom. Brett Bennett, P4. And Andrew Elias. How about Andrew Elias as well? He avoided that. Both him and Brett Bennett went through the grass. Elias was way down in the grass and was able to clear it all. Andrew Elias currently P5 in that 44 truck. So we're going to restart. 21 laps to go in the Amsoil Kansas 200. I still don't think we're done. Seeing cautions. But the pace truck's going to make its way into the pit road, and the field is in the hands of Cameron Caldwell. Green flag back in the air. And great restart by that bottom line. Jonathan Parker didn't really go.
So you have to wonder if that little bit of front end damage for Parker had to affect it, and it definitely is. As Brett Bennett is held up by him. Here comes Andrew Elias up to 3rd.
Here comes Bennett Allen on the outside of Cameron Caldwell. The outside line has been really strong through the corners. Bennett Allen hanging strong right there. The outside of Cameron Caldwell.
Pretty tight through 3 and 4. Was that 15 truck on the door of the 12? Andrew Elias, he is a runner-up here at Kansas in the past, doing another amazing run. You guys mentioned him coming to the restart in that truck 44, and he's going to be in a good position as Cameron Caldwell slides up a little bit through 1 and 2.
Can Andrew Elias steal one here at Kansas? Brett Bennett P4 as well, right behind Elias. Nathan Lehman P5. This race very well could have an upset, but Bennett Allen still on the outside of Cameron Caldwell.
Cameron with a good run right now through 1 and 2. Let's see if he's going to be able to clear that 15 JCTV truck. Indeed he does. It's going to try and set up a run for Andrew Elias, but Bennett is going to come back to the inside here in turn 3.
And going to try with the slide job. Cameron Caldwell already with the crossover move. Going to look to the bottom. They're both on the apron.
What a tight slide there by the 12. He just barely found an opening there. Now, what a block by Bennett Allen to keep Andrew Elias behind him.
The entire top 5 fled to the apron there. Elias going to get very tight there on the inside of Bennett Allen. Had a lift out of it. I think through 2 and 2, it's going to allow Brett Bennett to get to his bumper of his teammate.
Well, as we're looking at the points here, both, I mean, we were talking about upsets and the cutoff. Bennett Allen, Brett Bennett, and Andrew Elias, they all need wins right now.
Brett Bennett.
Brett Bennett.
Go ahead, Adam.
No, go ahead, Josh.
Oh, Andrew Elias caught the apron a little bit. Great job by Andrew Elias not to wash up the track very bad. He's going to have to go to Knoll to his inside. Brett Bennett going to get clear for 3rd place. Now he's just hoping these two in front of him start battling hard. 16 to go here from Kansas. Cameron Caldwell, your race leader, with Bennett Allen all over that back tailgate.
who's moved up to 4th now, part-timer Dakota Knoll on his 2nd start of the season, saying a little, hey, how you doing up there?
Dakota Knoll has had a lot of struggles in this league, having so many DNFs, but a big win at Phoenix last season. Good to see Dakota Knoll out there running P4.
Good run here for Bennett Allen. He might be able to complete the pass, and he will. Let's see if Caldwell thought about going for the crossover, but didn't quite have the room. Now he'll cross over here on turn 3.
Bennett Allen going to continue to run that high line. Caldwell, great job on the bottom. They're going to be side by side. Bennett Allen with the advantage right now. But Caldwell is hanging tough. Caldwell, he's going to clear for the race lead. Slide up in front, go down the block. Now Bennett Allen looks to the bottom. Side by side still. And Bennett Allen running the middle line. They're going to be close. They make contact. Cameron Caldwell sideways. They're going to wreck. Brett Bennett takes the race lead. Caution is out.
Oh my goodness.
Dakota Knoll also getting involved.
Boy, that could have been a lot more trucks. So Josh, refresh our memory. Who was your pick to win this race?
Well, I think it might have had something to do with the 47 who's coming down pit road.
Interesting call. Wonder why he's pitting now. A lot of looks like we've got about a split strategy here. Top 5 stay out.
And Brett Bennett still in his box. Now he's rolling.
Just by those top 5 there that stayed out, Josh, were they the ones who got the wave around earlier from the Harold Tucker caution?
Yes, I believe so. Michael Walls,
so they had
Second Moreno, Alex Kerfan.
they probably got a chance to pit at the Kruger wreck, the Kruger Chicano wreck, thus giving them an advantage. And now this kind of flips the script on them.
So, 11 to go. 10 at the line, which I assume lights on the pace car will be off. So we're going to restart. 9 laps to go. The top 5 drivers are on 14 or more lap old tires. 22 from Matt Steiner, 23 from Alex Kerfan. Walls, Moreno, and Maher, 14. Corey Cook on 2 tires, and then it is Brett Bennett, first one on 4 fresh virtual Goodyear tires. And Andrew Elias right behind as well. I said this race very well could be shaken up for an upset. I still believe that. Michael Walls, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, both winners in the In the Pits News Truck Series earlier this season. Kerfan has won quite a bit as well. Tristan Maher winner a few weeks ago at the
What does
Roval.
what does the telemetry data say is the difference on tires?
You know, so I actually can pull that up for everybody to see.
Oh, that's a big difference.
So for Corey Cook, he did take 2 tires there. And that's
Interesting gamble.
That graphic's not showing how many tires they took, of course. That graphic's showing how many laps it has been since they pit. Corey Cook with 2 tires. Then you go 7th, Brett Bennett on down. All that is 4 tires. So this is what we're looking at.
What strategy back in play? But yeah, we mentioned earlier these guys who are out on old tires, where previously took the wave around from the Harold Tucker caution, then pitted to get back ahead on fresh tires when the previous caution happened, and now as a result, Brett Bennett and a bunch of others, rest of the field, pitting to kind of flip the script on them. I'm curious to see how the 2 tires will work for Cook.
Nine laps to go. And green flag is back in the air. Michael Walls with a great restart.
Great launch for Walls.
Keep an eye on this 47. First one, 4 fresh tires. But it is Andrew Elias looking into the inside.
Keep an eye on Cook in that 61. He got a pretty good launch, and the 2 tires seem to be helping him against these guys with the old tires. Oh boy, they're 3-4 wide in the back of the pack there.
Brett Bennett rolling the bottom.
Brett Bennett's digging hard right now, knowing he's got 4 fresh tires over these guys ahead of him. He's got under Maher now. Oh, he's going to take it 3 wide. Big move here.
Corey Cook sliding up the track. Losing a bunch of positions, but here we go. Brett Bennett, P3. He's to the inside of Alex Kerfan, getting a push from Nathan Lehman. Caution is out.
Oh, we got a truck turnaround backwards here. This is 4. Ooh, big hit for Duran.
Oh, across the
Turned by
nose.
Elias. I think he tried to clear himself and just wasn't clear.
So Michael Walls catching up to the pace car.
Well, and now all of a sudden with this situation we find in now, all of a sudden the little bit of a gap that Walls and Moreno had, there's now not many trucks between them and Brett Bennett. Brett Bennett sitting in a real comfortable position here. He's got over 20 lap fresher, about 20 lap fresher tires than the 2 guys ahead of him. So we'll be curious to see what happens. He got by Kerfan, Lehman, and Tristan Maher. Cook took 2 tires, but that part of the strategy didn't seem to work out too well from him. He got stuck in the middle 3 wide and had to save the truck from getting loose. For Bennett, depending on how people decide on their lane choice for the restart, the next truck down on 4 fresh tires, I believe, is David Duran, the 24. So tie wear is going to be a big part of the storyline here. These two in front, it's going to depend on how good of a launch Walls gets. And if Moreno can hold off Bennett enough to play a factor here in the strategy, because there are 5 to go now. I believe when they restart, they'll have probably 3 to go, if I had to say, Josh.
You very well might be right here. I believe. Let's see here. They take the 1 to green here. That'll put them at 3 laps to go. We take the green. And, yeah, lights are still on. So, I think if you're Brett Bennett, as long as Michael Walls and ITPN Moreno both don't take the top, I think if only one of them take the top, if you're Brett Bennett, go and take the top line.
Absolutely. I 110% agree with that.
But if
I
they
have
both,
a feeling... Go ahead, Josh.
I was going to say, if they both take the top, then, I mean, it's an easy decision for Brett Bennett to take the bottom line.
Yeah, especially when you have 20-lap fresher tires. Like, either way, this works out in Bennett's favor. And correct me if I'm wrong here. I was mentioning it earlier, Josh. I believe the next truck down on 4 fresh tires is David Duran.
It's actually going to be Nathan Lehman.
It is Lehman.
Bringing it up for you guys to see.
I stand corrected, and I accidentally said Lehman was one of the ones who stayed out. But no, yeah, he's still out there. Yeah, Lehman's the only real one that's a threat to Bennett, but I don't think he quite has the speed that Bennett has. Boys, broadcaster Josh, I'm sure you're giddy with excitement right now because there's a chance here that Brett Bennett may make you look like a genius.
Lights are off on the pace car. Michael Walls taking the bottom, taking Marino taking the top. Brett Bennett actually going with the bottom line here. Tristan Maher getting a couple.
I think that's the smart move for Bennett because if Walls takes the bottom, he can just try to stay with Walls as Walls restarts. He got a great jump on Moreno last restart, so this could work out well for him because if he can draft past Moreno, he can set it up on the fresh tires where he has Walls isolated and basically at his mercy.
Brett Bennett is going to have to get clear of Moreno quick.
Oh, yeah, because they're only going to have 2 laps to go when they restart. And this is not overtime, folks.
Yeah, this is a natural green-white checker. This will not be... overtime, as you mentioned. 3 attempts at overtime. So here we go. Pace truck is in. 2 laps to go. Green flag back out. Moreno with a great jump.
Bennett didn't go. It looks like he spun the tires a little bit on the restart. And that's actually going to allow Tristan Maher to get clear of him.
Brett Bennett looking to the outside. He's going to be to the outside of Tristan Maher. Fonseca Moreno having a moment. Bennett pushing Moreno. All 3 of them down on the apron. White flag is waving one more time around here in Kansas. What is
around the outside?
Bennett going to do? He sees an opening on the outside. Even Fonseca Moreno and Michael Walls battling hard on each other's doors, leaning. Brett Bennett looking low. Moreno blocking low. Walls on the outside of Moreno. Brett Bennett even higher. Brett Bennett going to cut down. It is the top 2. We're going to have a photo finish. It's going to be 3 wide, but I believe Michael Walls will get it.
Wow.
It is Micah Walls with the race win over Ethan Fonseca Moreno and Brett Bennett bringing it home in 3rd place. What a finish. Incredible job by Micah Walls to hold off one of the best that we have seen in Ethan Fonseca-Moreno and Brett Bennett with fresher tires. And Dawson Allen is not here, but I can only imagine what he would be saying right now.
Can you say shades of the 1959 Daytona 500 with that 3 wide shot of them at the line? We're gonna have to get a screenshot of that.
And we're definitely going to go back and look at that as well.
Yeah, because I saw what Brett was doing where he went way high and tried to cross over both of them on the bottom and just was not close enough to do it. Race was already lost for him when he spun the tires and didn't get going on the restart. Great job for Walls there, holding him off as well as Lehman with older tires. That's Michael Wall's second win of the season.
So, let's go ahead and bring in Brett Bennett.
I'll pull him down.
And so, I just did. And let me tell you, before I start actually talking to Brett, then I kind of want to talk to you and the crowd, the fans watching at home real quick. You took a screenshot of the picks to win and sent it in chat. And Brett said, L take from Josh, to be honest. Now, Brett, you didn't win. But, Brett, you had a chance. You were right there in a photo finish, man. I know it's not a win, but this has to be a really good finish for you, a big momentum gainer. How are you feeling right now, Brett?
Frustrated. I mean, I should have won that race. That's all there is to it. I'm tired of not winning these. Like, I mean, I'm happy I finished third. I finally gained more than a point on Josh Arnold for the playoffs, but I should have won that race, man. I don't know what I needed to do differently. I thought I had it. I think if it had went green the entire second stage, I had it. I was the first. I had pitted later than everybody else. Everybody else was gonna have to save massively in front of me to make it. Maybe they would have, but like I felt really confident on that. Then after the caution, and then after the one or two other wrecks, I was, especially after Cam, I thought if we went green from that last restart with 12 to go, I was going to get it. And then we get another caution, makes it a 2-lap dash, and they had just enough. They blocked like I'm not aggressive enough. I didn't run through them when they blocked me like shitheads. So, I mean, I don't blame them for blocking. I would do the same shit on the last lap, but it's just frustrating.
Now, Brett, obviously we can hear the dejection in your voice, and I know as a racer myself, the goal is always to win, go out there and perform the best. And, I have seen a lot of exciting finishes. I have called a lot of exciting finishes in broadcasting. This one is definitely one of them. I know you come up just short, but, this is a really good result at a track that has been really good for you in the past. Next week we head to Talladega, and that's another track where you are always competing, always up front. I know Talladega is a wild card, of course. For me, I hope that the 42 wins one or both of them, but is this going to be good momentum trying to head into Talladega?
I mean, I don't want to predict what's going to happen at Dega. I'm glad I put myself in a good spot with the playoffs probably tonight. I put myself in a good spot. Hopefully Dega goes well. I wish I wanted the win tonight so I could go and be aggressive at Dega. Now I've got a points race, and that sucks because points racing at Dega isn't fun. I'm gonna have to make change. I have to be aggressive in the first stage because if I had had a win, I I would probably be pitted before the stage in just for track position. So just doesn't work as well for the strategy purposes, but it'll be fine. Like we'll move on. Probably will drive to probably go drive a bunch tomorrow to go watch some real racing. So have a good time. So Talladega will be fun. It'd be a good race. Hopefully we can get some good results there and make it into the playoffs, and hopefully you don't have a spoiler happen. But yeah, fun. Should be fun.
All right, Brett, before I let you go, who gets it done for you behind that 47 machine?
And I got to thank Joseph Strigley, as always, main sponsor, Valley Fire Department, member of that. Meals, Fire Apparatus, my employer, all the rest of SBLD, everybody. Andrew especially, him and me were really working together this race. Me and him were the only two in our particular voice chat this race. He was a great teammate all race long. Like there was a time where I thought looked like maybe me and him could get even a 1-2 for us, and then he just kind of had some trouble on that next to last restart. But yeah, and then my parents always, I know they're probably watching, or I have my brothers and all that, but all them, everybody. It was a great race. We'll move on the next week and go try to finally get to victory lane soon.
All right, well, I know it's not what you wanted, but congrats on a third place finish and coming so close to getting that first win.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great night.
That was Brett Bennett, our third place finisher. And Ben, before I pass it over to you to interview Ethan, I just want to say, you can really hear the dejection. And that is the toughest part about racing, when you're so close. I've been there a ton, where it's like, yeah, you finished third, but it's not what you wanted. It's not excuse me. It's not it's not the goal. And for Brett, go ahead.
I would say no, it definitely isn't, and I think he's definitely kicking himself in the foot and kicking himself in the rear for messing up on that final restart there, like he did, because he was sitting in the perfect position on fresher tires and a faster truck. And the one good thing he does take away from this is as far as like points racing with Josh Arnold at the cutoff. He, between leading a lap and the gap, he finished 8 positions ahead of him. He made up 9 points, so he's only going to have 2 points between him. The good news is there's only 2 points between him and Josh Arnold. The bad news is they're going into Talladega where anybody can win. You could even have Tyler Watermullen back in 26th pull off a win.
Which he has won. Tyler Watermullen has won at Talladega.
He has won at Dega. Yes, he has won at Dega, to give you a sense of like with the situation we find ourselves in. So Tyler Watermullen could very well be a spoiler that jumps up into the playoffs.
Well, let's go ahead and continue with this post-race show and bring in Ethan Segamarino. Ben, I believe
we'll do that.
Got up to him.
Hey, Ethan, it's Ben Smith up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Ethan, congratulations on the second place. Although I don't think you probably feel like it's congratulations, you being how close you were on a 3-wide photo finish, finishing second after being arguably one of the 2 cars that was class of the field today. You had a great run all day. You ran roughshod in the first stage. Take us through that finish there, Ethan.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way I wanted to. I mean, I'll take a second place any day, but I mean, it's definitely not the way I wanted it to go. So there was a point in the race where I had pitted the first time in the green flag run, and I made sure to fill up my fuel, and next thing you know, I come out of Piro with 10 laps of fuel. So probably a game error or something, but that totally killed me. But yeah, I definitely did not expect to be back up here after going a lap down and having that caution come out, and it was just crazy all around. It's just somehow able to come back and take a second place, but yeah, I tried to rub in the Micah to ruin his momentum off of 4 because I knew he's gonna have the run on the top, and it just didn't work. So I just had to go down and protect the bottom and pin Brett down there to hold on to second, but yeah.
And Ethan, you mentioned before it falling a lap down because of the way the pit cycle and the caution fell. But then on the second caution, you're able to get back on the lead lap and also able to pit and you're able to get the wave around. But then all of a sudden things cycled around to where you had, after the next caution after that, you're on older tires. So what was going through your mind strategy wise, knowing you were part of that, what was at one point top 6 who were on 20 lap older tires than the rest of the field?
Yeah, I thought that 10 laps of tires would probably absolutely kill us, like on the short run there, because the fresher tires had so much more grip to roll the bottom and just fly past us. But I'm surprised they didn't. I'm glad that caution came out, but at the same time, I was a little nervous because usually I'm pretty bad at timing restarts. And that last restart, it probably was the best restart I ever had in my life to time that one. And yeah, that ultimately got us the good finish there in second place. But yeah, just a lot of nerves going on there.
And looking ahead, Ethan, good news for you. You already have 2 wins on the season. You're already locked into the playoffs. How comfortable does that make you feel going into the Talladega doubleheader, knowing you're already locked in? You can afford to be as aggressive as you want to be.
I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go like from the top to the bottom, do as much as I can. Like I'm just there to have fun at that point. I'm not worried about playoffs like I was last season. So, just gonna have fun and go crazy.
And before you go, Ethan, you got any folks you want to thank out there?
I want to thank my teammates, Peak Performance. JP was in the call today, so I'm glad we could feed each other information and help each other along the way.
Awesome, Ethan. Thank you for joining us. Good luck at Talladega next week, and have fun, as you said.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Ethan Fonseca Moreno, ladies and gentlemen. And now I turn it back over to Josh Coppernell, who I'm sure is going to be catching up with our winner, Michael Walls.
Yeah, indeed I am. And Micah, what a race, what a finish. You had speed all night long, and it seemed like you were being very conservative, trying to save the tires. A couple cautions came out, got you up front. What was it like out there for you?
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Hadn't started qualifying pretty well, and just ran up front, conserving the tires, just watching ETB and Alonso Chicano battle up front. Unfortunately, didn't get stage one, but we screwed ourselves on that late caution in the middle of the run, trying to pit. Got a speeding penalty. So just glad I was able to win, come back from it. It was fun.
Now, you were all holding off a driver that has been really hot lately in this league and kind of really everywhere he races, in Ethan, and a guy like Brett Bennett with fresher tires. 3 wide photo finish for the win. Did you knew you had it as you were crossing the line, or did it take a...
Yeah, I knew I had it going down the backstretch. I saw Checo and Brett. I saw Checo block Brett and just knew I probably had it from there. About hit the wall coming out of the 4, but...
What a race. We go to Talladega for a doubleheader next week. Got a couple wins in the bank already. So what's the goal there at Talladega?
Yeah, just I don't know. I want to run up front. I know I'm pretty good at plate tracks, so hopefully get out there and get 2 more wins. That'd be nice going into the playoffs. But I know that's not going to happen probably. So just gonna be mayhem next week.
All right, Micah. Before we let you go, completely celebrate. Who do you have to thank? Who gets it done for you?
I want to thank Jared Bogley, Johnny Parker, the whole T1A party. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Congrats on the big win. Mega Walls.
Thank you.
Well, this race was quite chaotic. We ended up seeing 5 cautions tonight. One of them, of course, for the yep.
And the last 4 of them, Josh, were within the last 30 laps of the race.
Yeah. This race, it was really clean overall.
Yeah, it was very clean. Obviously, you had the cautions, breed cautions in the end there, but that's to be expected when you basically have a caution right in the middle of the last pit cycle, and suddenly everybody realizes they're right back in it. But we saw a lot of great racing. Multi-group, obviously the high line may have been the dominant line, but we saw some guys that were able to make moves in the middle and on the bottom depending on how their truck was handling. So it was great racing all around. I mean, the battles for the lead were ongoing throughout the race. There was no like one truck that was like breaking away entirely.
Yeah, this race, a lot of chaos, a lot of unpredictability, and Michael Walls taking the win. As mentioned, next week is the Dega doubleheader. But before we really go any further with that, we should probably go over our unofficial race results. As soon as I can find what I'm looking for. And here we go. So, Michael Walls, of course, with the race win. Ethan Fonseca Moreno and Brett Bennett, second and third with a photo finish. David Arand finishing fourth. Tristan Maher in fifth. Nathan Lehman brings it home sixth. Alex Kerfan seventh. Austin McGill bringing it home eighth. Corey Cook ninth. And Josh Arnold with a 10th place finish.
And then for the guys 11th through 20th, got Andrew Elias in 11th, Roy Crump in 12th. Jonathan Parker, in his 5th start of the year, managed to bring it home in a fairly solid 13th position. Jeffrey Armstead got caught up in a late wreck, but recovered nicely for 14th. Alonso Chicano, one of the dominant trucks early, also caught up in some chaos late, ends up finishing 15th. Solid run for Tyler Watermelon, 16th. Cameron Caldwell, 17th. Matt Steiner coming up for 18th. Cole Snyder, 19th. And Michael Kruger, getting caught in a late accident, ends up finishing 20th.
21st is going to be Shane O'Neill. Justin Rand, 22nd. Last car on the lead lap. Harold Tucker, the third, 6 laps down, finishing 23rd. Dakota Knoll, 24th. Bennett Allen, 25th. 26th, Brian C. Smith. 27th, Zach Probst. Jackson Tate, 28th. And 29th, Noah Mary. And that's going to do it from us here at Kansas in the Amsoil Kansas 200. Next week, Dega doubleheader to finish off the regular season. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's going to be total chaos, especially the pressure cooker for the last 3 guys who are ahead of the cutoff on points right now. Kerfan, Snyder, and Arnold.
And then those on the outside looking in, like
Bennett. Yeah, Brett Bennett's only 2 points back.
Brad Bennett, Josh Copperl needing a win or 2 in his 42 machine. I'm sorry, I just have to say that.
and don't forget David Duran, Nick Hapiak. Pretty much, there's a whole bunch of guys back there who have a legitimate shot here. We've seen Jeffrey Armstead run well. We've seen guys as low all the way down like Tyler Watermelon, 26th in points, who have done well at Dega. Like it's wide open.
So that's going to do it from us here tonight. Tune in next week. See that Dega doubleheader. It's going to be wild. Big thank you to Adam Kuhn, who wasn't able to join us here at the finish. And he's also under the weather, so I wasn't even expecting him to be here tonight. But
I wasn't either.
Yeah, big thank you to Adam Kuhn, as always. Ben, thanks to you for joining us as well.
My pleasure.
Everybody, gets it done behind the scenes, all the racers, fans, and you guys. I'm Josh Coppernell signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we will see you next time.